Imagine getting jump scared with a multi-million-dollar mansion, because that's precisely what just dropped into our boy Lee's lap. At just 20 years old, bro just hit the jackpot, now officially rich, but the mansion comes with a secret living inside. This sprawling estate wasn't just old, it was an architectural anomaly, designed for a time when two families coexisted without the basic human right of a wall. Lee's family was part of this chaotic cohabitation, but the real drama unfolded years ago when his mom, a true queen, caught his dad in 4K. Picture this. His dad mid-attack session with his jumbo Costco hot with no toppings in the absolute wrong room with the wrong mom. It was a defining moment so profound, his mom's HP bar plummeted faster than a free-to-play player against a giant whale. But being a certified real one, she wasn't about to simp, so she initiated the ultimate divorce arc. Tragically, her existence glitched out, causing Lee's spirit to awaken with a burning desire for vengeance against his dad, the ultimate NPC in his tragic backstory. Fast forward to the present. Lee's phone buzzed with an incoming call from the paternal unit, a voice he hadn't heard in over a decade. The news? His last parental figure had collectively gone AFK permanently, but as a consolation prize, he officially inherited the mansion. Naturally, Lee speedran his move-in, purely to afford more robux for his Roblox drip, because let's be real, his brain rot was legendary. Anyways, upon entering, a sus vibe immediately hit him. Every surface was spotless, leaving freshly spawned energy instead of the expected dust bunnies and cobwebs. And after a brief system reboot, he swore he heard a sound, a phantom noise that triggered his internal sussy meter. Logic screamed, no one should be here. Yet the air was thick with mystery. Regardless, elevating to the second floor, he found nothing, instantly chalking it up to his own delulu. But then his gaze locked onto the windows and a wave of pure cringe washed over him. This was it. The infamous caught in 4K spot where his dad's ultimate Riz killer move had been activated in the past. Suddenly, the phantom sounds returned, louder this time, so he pinpointed it to just beyond the glass. Lee, activating his stealth build, rounded the corner, but what unfolded before him was unexpected content. Two girls, one blonde, one brunette, engaged in some truly unhinged, possibly CrossFit-inspired bedankadonk flashing antics. They, however, remained blissfully unaware of his peak-level sneak. So he froze a complete sussy baka, low-key vibing to the show. He even caught their names, Hyere the blonde and Mary a brunette. Eventually, Neri mid-flex spun around, her processing power lagging like dial-up internet. Her fear mechanic finally kicked in, manifesting as an ear-splitting shriek. Hyere, not to be outdone, joined in, their combined vocal ultimate skill piercing the very fabric of reality. In a blink and you'll miss it move, Nari seemingly teleported, reappearing with a green foam stick, channeling her inner anime moves to launch a series of powerful attacks. Nari, meanwhile, was in full panic mode, clumsily trying to find her phone to call 911. Our boy, however, was not about to get clapped into a pancake. He deployed his ultimate defense, gaslighting. "Brew, are you the burglars? This is my house," he declared, flipping the script with such confidence it paused their attack animations. Eventually, their fear turned into pure rage instead. They launched into a furious debate, claiming they were the rightful owners, saying they signed a lease with a pretty middle-aged woman. But now stuck in a real-life Spider-Man pointing meme, Lee's brain finally connected the dots. A pretty middle-aged woman? He immediately dialed his aunt, the OG matchmaker who'd somehow convinced his dad to transfer the estate to him. Turns out his aunt, a certified real G, had pulled a power move. She'd arranged for 3 other girls to live there, deeming the mansion too vast for a solo dude. The silver lining? All their rent money would now direct deposit into his account, funding his brain rot for years to come. Nevertheless, the misunderstanding unraveled. His aunt, ever the chaotic good, casually dropped that she'd been trying to reach the girls for a week to inform them of the new living arrangement, but they coasted her calls. With the plot holes filled, the girls, mortified, profusely apologized before dispersing into their designated rooms, their embarrassment levels off the charts. After making it inside their new base of operations, Hyere nonchalantly deactivated her daytime armor and issued a new quest to Nari to contact their missing party member named Yuri. The objective was simple: inform Yuri that the server now had a 4th player. Nari, looking like a confused NPC, asked why, but Hyere reminded her of Yuri's notorious debuff, a tendency to overindulge in potions, leading her to accidentally wander into the wrong rooms, namely Lee's new room. Regardless, despite Nari spamming her call button, Yuri's phone remained unresponsive, as if she were AFK in another dimension. Low-key, just drop her a text. Hyere sighed, confident Yuri would be logging off from work soon. Meanwhile, in his new room, Lee was being chilling, busy ranting about his privacy. How was a man supposed to live, laugh, and love when his room had the open-door policy of a 24-hour convenience store? He told himself to get curtains as soon as possible since being able to see the entire house from his bed was an awkward design flaw. Later that evening, Lee was deep in a power nap, attempting to recharge his social battery where he was awoken by what sounded like rumbling gas, but a sleepy brain check dismissed it as a dream. He rolled over, seeking the sweet embrace of slumber once more, but he realized another player was in his bed, and this one's defensive stats were literally at zero, their armor nowhere in sight. As he rebooted from his sleepy state, Lee's brain cells did a frantic scramble. It was the third girl, and instead of panicking like a normal person, a mischievous glint appeared in his eye. He decided to run a quick diagnostic, gently prodding her double Krispy Kreme donuts to test its squishiness factor. After a brief training arc in the art of poking, he chose not to activate his full sussy beka mode. Nevertheless, noting her resemblance to the other two girls, he concluded she must be part of their guild and decided a strategic retreat was in order. Unfortunately, just as he initiated his escape sequence, Yuri's subconscious activated a grapple move, instinctively clinging to his arm. With the bed pushed against the wall, he was cornered, his exit route blocked. Yuri, like a persistent slime from a JRPG, inched closer, causing an unforeseen variable in Lee's secret domain to begin powering up. Unable to move without triggering a boss battle, an unfortunate collision of his fully powered-up domain expansion finally jolted Yuri awake. Her eyes snapped open, a strange man in her bed. Her brain, running on dial-up speeds, finally connected. Without wasting time, she went full-on panic mode, grabbing scattered pieces of rope from Lee's unpacked belongings and fashioning a makeshift weapon. She swung wildly, trying to fend off the intruder, while Lee attempted to spam the "it's a misunderstanding" dialogue option. In her haste, however, Yuri forgot a key piece of character data. She was a level 10 girl trying to fight a level 50 male warrior. Lee, having had enough of this side quest, pulled an Uno reverse card, easily disarming her and demanding she listen carefully. Nonetheless, the commotion had triggered a raid alert throughout the house. Hayari and Nari burst in, expecting a thief, only to find a far more compromising cutscene. There was Lee hovering over Yuri, looking like the undisputed supreme leader of the Sussy Nation. While frozen from being caught in 4K, Nari's face was a mask of fury, while Hayari just looked like her software had crashed. But the three girls unleashed a verbal and physical combo attack, ready to blast Lee off like Team Rocket blasting off again. Then the plot twist. Yuri, finally processing the earlier text messages, realized she was the one who had invaded his territory, causing the mood to shift instantly. In a move of ultimate regret, all three girls dropped to their knees in perfect synchronization, begging for forgiveness. After all, he was the landlord Kun now. He held the power to kick them from the mansion and keep their deposit at the same time. But deep down beneath the grumpy exterior, Lee was no villain. He forgave them, sending them away with a stern warning, though no one could deny he was secretly pleased with the earlier soft pillow engagement. The next morning, Lee's plans to sleep in were shattered by what sounded like intense Beat Saber music blasting outside his window. Grumpy and sleep-deprived, he stormed out to find Yuri, vibing by herself. He was about to unleash his ultimate attack, but Yuri hit him with a critical apology, her sincerity disarming him, completely allowing her to play her final card. "Since you're free, would you like to get lunch with me?" With Lee refusing to utter a single word, Yuri decided it was time to deploy the ultimate persuasion jutsu, so she struck a flawless K-pop heart-cheek pose to convince him to join her for lunch. The main quest objective: jjamyeon, the legendary black bean noodles, her treat, and even though the dish was his absolute favorite, a culinary S-tier item, Bro still hesitated. Seeing Lee stuck in a loading screen, she sweetened the deal, adding tangsuyuk, sweet and sour pork, to the party invite. His combo attack was a critical hit as his stomach rumbled a battle cry, and Lee knew he couldn't refuse. Trying to salvage his last remaining crumb of coolness, he muttered a "sure, why not?" all while wrestling his inner demons who were already doing a victory dance. At lunch, just as Lee was about to devour the entire meal, Yuri dropped a lore bomb. All the beautiful ladies at the table were her sisters. Quickly, a wave of social anxiety washed over him, especially when the four took turns introducing themselves like it was the first day of elementary school. Luckily, Nari broke the spell, asking if he was going to pull a villain move and raise the rent. Lee, channeling his inner sass, retorted that he would only consider it if another incident occurred, a comment that left Nari momentarily stunned and checked. After the meal, Lee retreated to his room, determined to be a productive human and begin his unpacking his moving boxes. As he slaved away, moving boxes like a man possessed, his gamer senses tingled. Faint voices from the alley below pulled him to the window. Their two NPCs were engaged in a live-action event, and a few seconds of observation turned into pure shock as the random homeboy started pulling off what could only be described as cultured anime-style combo moves out in the open. He proceeded to thrash his girlfriend's armored chest plate before unleashing a dual-wielding special on her twin turbos. After that flurry, he shifted targets and aimed for the final dungeon's hidden treasure cove, and throughout this entire spectacle, Lee was physically unable to blink, his sussy beka mind and scholarly curiosity having completely seized control of his motor functions. But just as he thought the episode was reaching its finale, the mysterious dude unequipped the girl's diamond plate leg armor while simultaneously deleting his own character's plate legs from existence. Lee gasped. Not wanting this masterclass of culture to end, he covered his mouth with both hands like a true gentleman, utterly baffled that a couple would premiere their new season right outside his window. As the action continued, his inner demons caused his own Taco Bell burrito to grow to its full, unsubsidized size. It was at this precise moment that Yuri, executing a perfect gank, appeared at his door. Panicked that she might think of him as a certified sussy warlock, Lee swiftly alt-tabbed from the window scene, yanking the curtain shut. He turned to greet her, completely forgetting that his bean burrito was now fully unsheathed and on his tray. But it turned out Yuri had interrupted his power level increase simply to ask if he wanted chicken and drinks for dinner. Distracted and flustered, Lee harshly rejected her offer since he could hear the strange noises from the alley continuing, and his only goal was to prevent her from investigating. Her face fell, a critical debuff of sadness applied so as she turned to leave, her own special edition Whoppers with cheese dangling from behind, a wave of guilt washed over him. He messed up, so he instantly reloaded his last save, calling out, "Wait, let's eat together." This time it was just Yuri and no other sisters. The difficulty had been cranked to nightmare mode. Lee, a man with 0 points allocated to his Riz stat, had no idea how to handle a one-on-one encounter, but Yuri urged him to drink, noticing he barely touched his can. In reality, bro was a Pepsi main and had never consumed anything else since Pepsi is the best. Nevertheless, after chugging a few, the potion unlocked a hidden dialogue tree where he began spilling his entire life's lore dump, culminating in the story of his late mother. Yuri, listening intently, told him that life would be okay, and claimed that the best way to help him is to replace his bad memories with good ones inside this house. Suddenly, she moved in for a hug, closing the distance until his face was alarmingly close to her. Well-appointed character model. "You're such a good boy," she happily mentioned. She told him that even though he was awkward, he could practice with her. As such, his training arc had officially begun. "I'm sure you'll get a girlfriend in university," she assured him, seeing his confidence bar at a critical low. "Babe," she said, initiating the simulation. "Let's start your training." Yuri had just begun cosplaying to help him level up.